Let's talk Tanya for the 25th of Adar. The larger topic that we are in the middle of discussing is the idea that through us doing mitzvahs, we create a dira b'tachtonim, we create a home for God over here in this world, which will be fully realized when Mashiach comes. How does this happen? So there are multiple steps in this process. The first step we discussed is that when I do a mitzvah, I'm actually elevating the objects that I am using in the commission of the mitzvah. The animal hide that is in the mezuzah, the esrog that I use for shaking on sukkahs, or the coin that I give to charity. And also I elevate the animal soul, the energy of the animal soul, which is expended in doing that mitzvah. That's step number one. But that's far from elevating the entire world. Step number two, which we talked about yesterday, is that when I do a mitzvah, I'm also elevating all the food and the drink that I consumed prior to doing the mitzvah, which gave me the energy to do the mitzvah. That food or drink was converted into energy. That energy was converted into a mitzvah, so I'm elevating the food and the drink. But still, we are quite far away from our goal of elevating the entire world. So we started yesterday talking about the idea that the creation of the dira b'tachtonim, the creation of this home for God, is a collective effort which requires every single Jew to do their part. And every Jew, when they do all the mitzvahs, they are effectively elevating their animal soul. When all of the Jewish people together fulfill the mitzvahs, then all the animal souls of all the Jewish people are elevated. Why is that so important? God created the world. Bishvil Yisrael u'bishvil HaTorah means that the reason why the world was created was so that the Jewish people should be able to do the mitzvahs and thereby create this dwelling place for God. This means that every single element of this world was created to support a Jew in being able to serve God. So, there's a large country called China, 1.5 billion people over there. Very few Jews over there. But how much of what is made in China helps the Jewish people in doing a mitzvah? Think about it this way. The clothing that you're wearing right now, how many different factories and how many different countries and how many different workers and machines were involved in creating the clothing that you wear? The food that you ate today, today, and especially today when we have a global economy, the different ingredients in your food are created by multiple factories, multiple countries. Everything in the world, somehow, some way, is made to support a Jew in fulfilling a mitzvah. There are 600,000 collective Jewish souls, and every single one of those 600,000 souls further subdivides into 600,000. The world is equally subdivided, 600,000 parts, and each one of those parts is subdivided into a further 600,000. And here's what's important. Every single part of the world has a name attached to it, the name of a Jew. I am created, that element of the world says, to support and to serve a Jew in their effort and their mission of doing mitzvahs. When any given Jew elevates their animal soul, they're also automatically elevating the entire support system behind the animal soul, which could be things all over the world. When I elevate my animal soul requires food, it requires clothing, it requires housing, it requires furniture. And when I elevate my animal soul now is holy, and automatically that elevates the entire support system. All the Jewish people together, everyone elevates their animal souls. What we have ultimately is an entire world which is elevated, because there is no aspect in the world which is not created to help a Jew do a mitzvah. Does every single Jew do their part? The answer is yes. Sometimes it takes multiple gilgulim, multiple reincarnations. But ultimately, for Mashiach to come, every single Jewish person has to elevate their animal soul by doing all of the mitzvahs, and ultimately that will happen. Tomorrow, we will see how our entire conversation up until this point gives us a very different perspective on our bodies, on our animal soul, and on the world at large. And that will be the topic of discussion, God willing, in tomorrow's Let's Talk Tanya.